Olá, fãs da Uni, tudo bem? Eu sou a Log Coach do Marketing e hoje eu estou aqui com a presença incrível de Elizabeth e Helen, as autoras da série Feras e Príncipes. Eu tenho os livros aqui atrás de mim, Entre Feras e Espinhos, Entre Fogo e Espinhos, Entre Pétalas e Espinhos e Entre Corais e Espinhos, que acabou de chegar nas livrarias. Então, hoje a gente está aqui com as autoras e com alguns de nossos parceiros, influencers, para entrevistar elas e conversar, né, sobre essa série maravilhosa, essa romantasia com areia em reverso quente que a gente ama. Então, fiquem aqui com a gente para curtir essa entrevista e poder conhecer mais das autoras e da série. Ah, e fiquem de olho que de vez em quando aqui na tela vai aparecer um QR Code, vai aparecer um código para vocês comprarem os livros em promoção. Então, todas as informações vão aparecer aqui na tela e também vão estar na descrição do vídeo. So, hi guys, welcome. We are super happy to have you guys here in Brazil, at least online. Before I make the first questions, you guys want to introduce yourselves to the fans that doesn't know you, say who is Elizabeth, who's Helen, because they might not know.
Hi, everybody. My name's Elizabeth.
And I'm Helen.
And we're sisters. We're from British Columbia, Canada. And it's very rainy right now. So we are wishing we were in Brazil at the moment. Hopefully your weather's a little bit better than ours. And we are the authors of the Beast of the Briar series,
which is a Why Choose Beauty and the Beast retelling where an awkward bookworm finds herself in the Enchanted Vale and imprisoned in a castle with 4 cursed fae princes and 1 mysterious villain.
Guys, it's an amazing series. We love it here at Universo. Our fans love it, but we want to make more fans to discover it so they can start reading it and fall in love with the princess Rosalina and this world. How was your reaction when you found out that the series rights were being sold to Brazil? Did you ever think your books would be published here?
No, we were so excited. When we originally published Beast of the Briar, we weren't sure anybody would read it. And the fact that it not only, became pretty popular in English, the fact that it got sold in Brazil and we can have our story told in another language, it was so surreal and we were so excited.
Yeah, we were just delighted, and we are so grateful to all of our Brazilian readers. They have been so enthusiastic and welcomed Rosalina and the princes so much. Beautiful art and posts and such lovely enthusiasm. So we're excited. I know Rosalina would love to visit Brazil, so she would. Yeah. She'd be so proud of herself.
Brazilian fans are like the most excitable in the world. When they love something, they really love it and they let everyone know it, which is the best part. So you guys are dual writing under the same name, Elizabeth Helen, which are your first names. But we've been curious about how is your writing process? Do you write chapters individually? Do you write them together? How do you make it work to write such long books with 2 people at the same time?
Yeah, so we're sisters, so we grew up writing together. We've done it ever since we were really little. And so we've done like lots of books over the years and sort of defined our process. But for Beast of the Briar, we set out and we just wrote like a giant outline. We knew exactly where we wanted the whole series to go. And then we take one book and we outline it chapter by chapter. And once we have that really detailed outline, we'll go through and we'll pick who gets to write the first draft of which chapter. It's actually quite fun. It's a fun process.
It is fun. Sometimes we are like, okay, we both really want to write this chapter. Who gets and sometimes there are chapters that are a bit hard or they have a lot of lore or world building or fight scenes. And we're like, okay, who has to write this one? This is going to be a tough one. But we do edit each other's work after that and we'll add lines, delete lines. So if you showed me Bonded by Thorns and showed me a random chapter, I'd be like, I don't know if I could remember who wrote what at that point because we've gone over it so many times. But yeah, it's a fun process and very, very collaborative.
Wow, it must be really awesome to have someone to talk about everything, to imagine and build this world together. I think when people realize have two writers writing it, they get a little shocked because we can't see it, right? It's really well edited and it's amazing. You guys do a wonderful job.
Thank you.
And you guys already said that the Beast of the Briar series is inspired by Beauty and the Beast. And besides Beauty and the Beast, did you take inspiration from any other work or pop culture media to build these worlds?
Yeah, so we definitely Beauty and the Beast was the biggest inspiration, but we are inspired by a lot of different fairy tales. So with book 4 coming out, you'll see there's a little bit of Little Mermaid inspiration in there. Even the Briars themselves have like a Sleeping Beauty kind of feel to the castle. And we love, to look into different fairy tales and folklore and pick sort of unique or interesting areas of those to weave into the stories.
Yeah, another thing we like is history. So you'll notice in book 4, Broken by Daylight, there's a lot of like ancient Greece history, like elements of that are woven into it. And just inspired from our childhood of loving like huge, sweeping, epic fantasy, like The Lord of the Rings, for example, was a huge like cornerstone of our childhood. And we just love those epic stories.
We can tell.
Yes.
I think the first book is the one that we most look and see, wow, Beauty and the Beast, it's here. It has a lot of connections. But you guys were able to expand this world, to take out all these other inspirations and make it yours. And I think that's the best part of the series. Let's talk about the princes. We love them. And our readers lose their heads every time when they find out that they are visually inspired by our most beloved crush actors and characters. Besides being hot and super good looking, were there other factors that led you to choose those inspirations?
Yeah, it's super fun. We've had like a lot of inspirations of like the hot actors and
Yeah.
edits on TikTok. When we originally created Dayton, it's his book coming up in Brazil.
Mhm.
Didn't have like a specific actor. We kind of liked the shots of Brad Pitt and Troy. But something that did inspire us after that was we had so many fans and readers come up and be like, he reminds me of Finnick from the Hunger Games.
Yes.
And then we're like, okay, so now that's our fan cast for Dayton.
Yeah, we definitely, I think a huge inspiration too is we really wanted to play around with their seasons and how their seasons would affect their personalities. So for some, Cal is the High Prince of Winter. We knew he had to be a little stoic and cold and have that sort of very epic feel that winter can have. But we also wanted to play around with it. For example, Ezrin is the High Prince of Spring. So we wanted the idea that he has this rejuvenation magic, which feels very spring-like, but also spring feels very connected to the earth. So we sort of twisted that. He's a metal worker. He's a forger. That's what they are. So overall, we just wanted the princes to have very, very distinct feelings from one another so that the readers could choose their favorite, or why choose, like them all.
I think it's impossible to choose. They are all amazing. I really love them. If I had to choose, I think Dayton would be my favorite. At least now, after book 4, he's winning by just a little bit. Oi, meninas, tudo bem?
Hi, girls. First, we wanted to say that we are very happy to be here with you. We are the twins, Isadora and Helena, and since we learned about the concept of beasts and princes, we are very curious about how you invented such a well-known classic. Because this idea is so different and striking, a question arose that we would like to ask. How did the idea of transforming the dynamic of the Beauty and the Beast into a story with 4 cursed princes instead of just one?
Yeah, so first of all, thank you so much for being here. I love sisters who read together. We have so much fun, like our own book club. So that's so fun. Yeah, so we knew when we decided we wanted to write a new book that we wanted to try and play around with the why choose genre. So one woman and multiple men. And we knew that that was something we wanted to play with because we love characters so much and getting to see all the different dynamics of the characters at play. So we thought it would be really fun. And we threw out a lot of ideas.
Yeah. I think we had maybe a couple other fairy tales we were thinking of. We were thinking of maybe a contemporary one. But when we knew Beauty and the Beast, because Why Choose is sort of a new genre for a lot of people, we're like, we can take the traditional retelling that is really grounding and people know the beats for, and then add our own twist. Because there's been so many Beauty and the Beast retellings that we wanted to make a twist and be like, okay, there's 4 of them. She doesn't have to just deal with one beast. She has to deal with 4.
Yeah. Overall, we just thought it would be really fun to try and play around with. And yeah, we got to play with the magic and one of our favorite fairy tales.
Thank you. Thank you for being so kind and for sharing more about your creative process with us. Thank you.
Thank you.
You guys talk about some of your inspirations. You talk about fantasy, Lord of the Rings. And we know that fantasy used to be a male-dominated field with a majority of male protagonists. With the rise of romantasy, we're seeing many more women writing and reading the genre, the romance aspect taking more and more space. Have you always been fantasy fans? Why did you choose to write this specific subgenre of romantasy?
Well, we grew up reading all things fantasy and like Lord of the Rings, for example. And I think one thing that had me daydreaming all the time was, why doesn't Arwen get to go on the quest to Mount Doom? And there was a lot of fantasy and it was always the male hero. And I think that was a huge draw to us for romantasy is they have so many female-led, strong female characters that get to go on the adventures. They don't just wait at home for the night. And it was finally getting to kind of see yourself in this role that you maybe imagined as a kid a lot.
Totally. Yeah, we loved fantasy, but it felt like romance also got to always take a back seat to everything else. But that was something we loved exploring. We thought, those relationship dynamics were some of our favorite parts of the stories that we saw, and we wished that they had a bigger stage. There was more for us to consume. So we've always wanted to write romance and fantasy together, and it's so exciting that now we've been able to find so many readers who also love it, and that there's so many amazing stories coming out that feel the same way as we do.
Yes, and I think a lot of people feel that way, especially a lot of women. So that's why we are seeing romantasy being such a huge success around the world. We all wanted to see the women going on their adventures and having the romance because we can have both. We can be strong and have the romance.
Totally.
Yes.
And you guys created Rosalina, who is a super strong character, and she balances her strength and her kindness really well. We also love that she's not your usual super thin protagonist. And why did you choose someone like her to be the lead in the story? Where did her personality come from?
Yeah, so we love a badass assassin character, but we both never really related to that character. Like, I always say I would be the first one dead in the Hunger Games. Like,
yes, me too.
So we were so interested to look at what would it be like if, someone like us who just loves to read and doesn't have any special skills with a bow or a sword was dropped into a fantasy world. And that's how we created the idea of Rosalina. She has to use her smarts, she has to use her courage, she has to use her determination, and she has to fail over and over and over again because this world is so brand new to her. And we just thought that was so interesting and wanted to see it ourselves in a book too.
Yes, Rosalina is amazing. Being a reader, seeing a reader in this world is really good. We really can look up to her and feel like we're her in some ways. Boa noite, Camila, tudo bem?
Primeiro, eu fiquei obcecada pelo primeiro livro, eu só conseguia respirar este livro assim que eu terminei ele. Eu fiquei muito brava no final do terceiro livro e eu queria muito, muito pegar vocês duas e falar para mim o que acontecia no próximo. Eu estou muito ansiosa para ler o quarto. E A Bela e a Fera é o meu conto favorito e eu queria saber como que vocês conseguiram se manter fiéis à história original, porque faz várias conexões com o conto ao redor do livro, e como que vocês fizeram da Fera os quatro príncipes.
Okay, guys, this is Camila. She's one of our book influencers. She said that she loved the first book. She couldn't stop reading until she finished it. And when she finished the third book, she was really mad at you guys. And I was too, but it's okay. And she said that Beauty and the Beast is a fairy tale that she loves very much. And she wanted to know how you guys were able to take a story that is relatively small and make it in this big book, in this big series. You talked about the princess, how you wanted to make instead of 1-4. How else did you plan on the inspiration of Beauty and the Beast to make Beast of the Briar?
Yeah, I think it was so fun because we plotted, even when we were doing the first book, we knew it was going to be 7 books. Because we knew we were doing a Why Choose story, we wanted to have a book for each prince. So we had our opener book, which is Bonded by Thorns, which is basically our Beauty and the Beast retelling. And in that book, we say that there are 4 seasonal realms, and these realms were just so big and magical in our imagination. We knew each book and each prince needed their own story. So we never ran out of things to do or explore, because book 2 is Fera and we get to see the Autumn realm. Book 3 is Ezrin and we get to see this like hard people in the beautiful Spring realm and their culture. Book 4 is completely different. We are going to summer and it's got pirates and gladiators. And in book 5, we'll go to winter, and then 6 snows. And book 7, big epic closer. So because we had all these characters and the worlds to explore, it just felt like the world was endless, and it just made sense. It had to be 7 books. There was no other way.
Ai, nós divas.
She said that you guys are divas.
If I'm mad about the ending of book 3, I'm sorry for the ending of book 4.
It's okay. It's okay.
Quando você chegar no 4, você vai ver. Mas muito obrigada, Camila. When I finished book 3 and 4, I wanted to throw it out the window. I was really mad at you guys. But I was like, okay. It means that we have more, so I can go back to this work.
There will be a happy ending eventually.
Eventually.
Thank you. You already talked about how The Beast of the Briar is a really long series, and we now reach the release of the 4th book here in Brazil. You talked a little bit about how you planned this story and how you always knew that you wanted 7 books. You guys started independently, and now you have publishers around the world. So how was it for you to really divide this story, to find out what was going to happen in each book? And after being such successful in independent, when the publishers came, it was like, oh, I have 7 books. It's not really easy to sell 7 books. How did you guys manage it?
Yeah, I think the answer is that we're a little bit delusional.
We had to be.
Yeah, it was just how the story wanted to be written. And at that point, we thought we're going to self-publish it all the way. So we're going to make the rules about what it looks like. And we were so lucky to have found such an incredible readership that said to us, yeah, we're strapped in. We want to see what happens, and we'll come all the way. And, we are really, really lucky to partner with incredible publishers like our publisher in the United States and with Universo dos Livros, who also said, let's see where this goes. And, the readers are on board for this epic adventure. I think we just love these characters so much, and we have so much fun playing in this world and getting to expand the world with each book and make it bigger and bigger. And we're so lucky our readers are along for the ride with how each book gets a little higher fantasy, a bit more, the stakes are rising.
And each prince like needed that book for their arc because we love the princes so much. We couldn't crowd them all. And the beauty thing of it is like, even though Farron's book is 2, he's still growing and changing throughout the whole series too. So you might think they're done on their book, but they've really got a long way to go throughout it. So just how they all interact. It just needed to be this long series. And we're just, I guess, delusional and lucky to be able to partner with so many publishers around the world.
It's true.
And who trust our vision. Like none of our editors were ever like, no, you can't do that. They all knew. They're like, okay, you know where the story's going. And let's go for the ride.
Oh, that's amazing. And the books are so addictive. As a reader of the series, when we finish one, we want to start another one. We really love the characters and we want to spend that time with them, see where they're going, what they're going to do. Like you said, the stakes are rising and we go crazy with them. Like, oh my God, why must they suffer so much?
I know they do.
They do, but it's okay because it makes it wonderful books and we just want to read and don't stop.
Thank you.
We have to talk about the spicy scenes. They are incredible, super sexy, and we love how as we advance in the series, we get more and more spicy scenes. Did you always wanted it to be a white choose romance, and how challenging was it to write all these characters together?
Yeah, when we set out, we did want to try a Y Choose. It was our first time writing one. And we had seen that Y Choose was really like growing in popularity in like mafia and sports romance, but there wasn't a ton in fantasy. And because we love fantasy so much, we thought, well, we need to try a Y Choose with Fae or with magic. But it is challenging.
Yes. The
I
more
imagine.
characters that get added to the spicy scene, we've done some kind of cursed drawings on my iPad to try and figure out where everyone's limbs are. And there's nothing more humbling than your editor's comments being like, this physically, his hand couldn't be the last thing his hand was on this. And
this man has grown 4 legs.
Those are fun to edit. We'll be sitting next to each other, like with the most graphic scenes on there, and we're like, wait, who's where? It's very technical, but hopefully it all flows nicely once the reader gets to it.
It goes. They are amazing scenes. I always imagine that like they must draw, they must have something so they can know. I think we need to release a special ebook with all the drawings.
I'll post on my Instagram at some point. We'll post the cursed drawing.
They are
for everyone to see.
They're quite disturbing.
I imagine they are amazing. And going against the tides of most white choose romances that we see out there, here in Beasts of the Briar, we also have M&M romances, the males romance, and the princes sleeping with each other. Dayton and Fera's romance, for instance, was it always meant to be such a big part of the narrative? Why did you choose to also have the males have relationship between them?
I think one of the things we were excited to do about Why Choose is all the different like male character dynamics. So some of them have like a brotherly relationship. Some of them they hate each other. And we knew at least 2 of them would be in love in that way. So with Dayton and Farron, in the first draft, we did write that. And then as we were writing it, I think we realized like there's so much there. And they really have this own story, which I think is just as powerful as Rosalina's story with each of them. And we do love Dayton and Farron so much. And our other male couple, which I won't spoil, but there are more out there. And it's fun to see how also dynamics we didn't initially plan between the princes develop later on in the series. Like 2 of them have a lot of tension that we didn't expect when we first wrote it. So it's just been so fun writing those different dynamics between male characters. And that's something I don't think you see in a lot of traditional like MF books because
Mhm.
like you're not it's sort of in that headspace. So it was a really fun to write.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, I think Dayton and Farron became like a fan favorites, and so getting to write their backstory and to explore this sort of up and down relationship and to see how Rosalina can help heal them so that it can make everyone's relationship stronger. We just thought that was a lot of fun to play around with.
It gives another layer to the story because we have this representation, we have LGBT characters. When I first started reading the book, I still didn't know that Dayton and Farron would be a couple, so I was really happy when I saw that, when I read their stories, and I'm like, oh, that's different from all the other white Jews that we read. And I was really happy as a bisexual. I was like really happy to see all those bisexual characters, and everyone loves each other, and that's what the world needs right now.
100%.
Yeah, 100%.
Girls, I need to say that I am finished the first book, and I'm really afraid about the third book because you see, I heard some comments and oh my, okay, I have to continue to read. The question that I want to say to you is, what was the hardest part about writing this series for you girls? Because it's not easy, it's 7 books, so
Yeah. Oh, the hardest part of writing a 7-book series, I think one of the hardest things is we wanted to make sure that the characters continued to grow throughout the 7 books. So, and Helen kind of mentioned this, but for example, Farron has a big character arc and a lot of character growth in book 2. But that doesn't mean he's going to stay where he is. Yes.
Descend.
Yes.
Yes.
We wanted to make sure that the characters are always in motion, and that means maintaining their conflict and having them grow in different directions and continuing to mess up and to fail and to face like really big obstacles. And when you have 5 to 6 main characters, and you'll see in book 3 we get a new point of view character. We want to make sure that all of those characters get equal space to have those character arcs. So I think that's one of the hardest things.
That's one of the hardest, and just raising the stakes each book, so making sure the world continues to get bigger and bigger and bigger. It's fun to play with what's haunting them. Sometimes it's internal, sometimes it's an enemy, sometimes it's the world themselves, and each book feels a little different. And
thank you so much, girls. You were amazing.
Thank you.
So Rosalina and the Princes have come a long way since the first book to Broken by Daylight. The 4th book has a lot of revelations and plot twists, and we see the development of many characters and the war. Without giving much away, was this book harder to write? How was the process? And it is such a big book. Right now, it's the biggest one of the 4, so how was it?
I think Broken by Daylight was our hardest book of the whole series to write. And I think it's because what I was saying was the world just got so much bigger, and we were really setting up the end game. And there's a lot of things that happen that will carry us forward to the end. And without spoiling anything, a lot of our main characters are separated throughout that book. So it was challenging to like weave all their storylines together and make sure they all sort of hit like an exciting moment at the same time, or one Prince or Rosie didn't get too many more chapters than other ones. That was a big challenge to work through in Broken by Daylight. But it's also, I think, the one I'm most proud of because we struggled so much through it. And when we got to the end, I'm like, this feels really good.
Yeah, totally. Book 4 was definitely a huge effort. We really knew we needed to set things up to carry us through the second half of the series. And I think because book 4 was still so closely tied to book 3, there were a lot of things we needed to either wrap up or expand from book 3. So we wanted to do that justice too. So, but yeah, I agree. I'm really proud of book 4. It is the longest of the whole series. And I really enjoy writing it. I think it is both like very intense but super fun.
It's also so romantic. There's
Yes.
so much.
Yeah.
Yes.
No one yearns like my guy Dayton.
Yes. That's true.
Yes. No one's more romantic than him. And you said that Broken by Daylight is Dayton's book. He got his book. And he slowly became one of my favorite characters. I love his dichotomy of being the partier and the nonchalant in the beginning of the series to revealing himself to be one of the saddest and most powerful princes. How was for you to create this character and make him have all this development throughout the series?
It was so much fun. Dayton is my favorite character, and I just do love that trope. And it was something we knew from the beginning that he was so sad inside. Like from book 1, we wrote that he just pushed everything out. He pushed Farron away, he pushed his feelings away, and we knew it was brewing so deep inside of him. And then you make horrible things happen to him, and it has to all come out if he wants to achieve his destiny. If he wants to get his goals, he's going to have to face that trauma from his past. And those are my favorite type of characters to write, that the reluctant hero, the one who doesn't acknowledge their feelings. And when they do, it feels so satisfying in how they get there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was so fun to get to explore Dayton because also he has such unique relationships with the other princes and with his family too. So getting to, so we get to have a look at Dayton's younger sister, Delphia, which is super fun. And I feel like her relationship really helps Dayton realize a lot of things when he's looking at her. And so we get to explore that too.
I loved Delphia. I think it's really fun how you keep adding characters to the books, but we still love them and want to see more of them. It's like, my God, we're in the 4th book and they're adding more characters, but it's amazing. I want to know all of them. And Frozen by Stardust is the next book in the series. Without giving much away, what can the readers expect from it after that finale from the 4th book?
We'll say that we are heading north to the winter realm, so grab your coats. It will be cold. And
there's also an unexpected new enemy waiting for our princes that'll give them quite a challenge.
We can see from the cover of international cover that we're gonna have a wedding.
Yes,
I'm really excited.
A wedding. Who is Rosalina marrying? That is the big question.
When we told our fans, oh, book 4 is coming, the pre-sale is available, everyone was like, okay, and book 5. Where is book 5? When can we expect book 5? Like, guys, one at a time, please. They are big books. They are hard to translate. It's not that easy.
I can't imagine all the work that goes into translating a book.
Oh,
that is amazing.
Yeah, love to our translator.
Yes,
all of our strange words. Yes. In there.
Yes, they are amazing, and it really is a really big work. They take several months to translate the book. So book 5 is coming. We just can't tell you guys when, but it's coming. So we sadly came to the end. We have one last question. So for everyone that hasn't started the series yet, why should they start reading the Beast of the Briar series?
I think you should start reading Beast of the Briar if you're someone who has wanted to get into romantasy and fantasy. We wrote the first book to be really accessible and a really easy read with some fantasy tropes that can really help you start in the genre, and to be a fast read. And then as the series go on, you can really dive into a more complex fantasy world and really get to know the characters. I think it's so fun to spend a lot of time with characters, and that's why I love long series, because they become my friends and I get to be really immersed in the world.
Same. And also, if you are a little bit nervous to start a Why Choose book, if you think maybe that's not for you, I do think Beasts of the Briar is a great introduction to the genre because we take our time getting to learn and meet all the characters so that you really can understand them and their dynamics before things get too spicy or hot and heavy.
Thank you very much for your time, for being here today, talking to us. Do you want to leave a message for your Brazilian readers?
We just want to say thank you so much to our Brazilian readers for welcoming Rosalina and the Princes. It has been so amazing for us to get to connect. We're from Canada, so I feel like we're reaching across the world and getting to connect with the incredible readers in Brazil. You guys are so warm, so wonderful, and your enthusiasm has meant the world to us.
We feel the love all the way in Canada, and every time a new edition comes out, a new book comes out, and we see the beautiful covers and the love that the readers have and the love the publisher is giving us with all the time and attention, we are just so grateful.
So thank you.
Thank you.
Obrigado.
I hope one day we can chat in person, that you can come to Brazil to
That would be a dream.
meet all the fans.
That would be so amazing.
Gente, essa foi a nossa entrevista com a Elizabeth e a Helen, as autoras da série Feras e Príncipes. Muito obrigada a elas por terem participado aqui dessa entrevista com a gente. Se você ainda não tem os livros, se você ainda não começou a série, dá uma olhada aqui em todas as informações que estão aparecendo na tela e na descrição do vídeo para você poder comprar os livros com desconto. Eu espero que você goste tanto deles, assim como eu e todas as nossas influencers e parceiras que apareceram aqui hoje conversando com as autoras. E até a próxima, gente. Tchau!